So, welcome back to this virtual class. Yesterday we have discussed about analysis of syllabus and the importance of analysis of syllabus, how the syllabus has been broken into modules, unit, how the module has been broken into unit, and how the unit has been broken into lessons. How can we break the lessons into different lesson plans and demonstration plans? So today one more interesting chapter, the taxonomy of educational objectives. So this taxonomy of educational objective chapter is included in the fourth unit. So this is very important unit. That is why this has been in fourth unit, syllabus of the fourth unit. So the taxonomy of educational today's presentation, and in the presentation, the contents I will explain. The objectives of the presentations are, after completion of this presentation, you will be able to define general taxonomy of educational objectives, and you will be able to define 3 domains and its relationship with knowledge, skill, and attitude. State the major components of cognitive domain and compare with learners' learning and performance ability in higher level and lower level. Explain the cognitive domain and its revised version. Then taxonomy in NCRT, National Council for Educational Research and Training. Then comparison with our NSQ of National Skill Qualification Framework. Then explain NSQ of learning outcomes. So these are the main intended outcome, that is the learning outcome after completing of this session. So one by one, let us see. Before going to detail about this presentation, I'd like to inform the importance of this taxonomy of educational objectives. In collegiate education, that is the graduation, post-graduation, and even research levels, teacher training colleges, taxonomy of educational objectives very important. So every syllabus, all the universities across the country, even across the world, they have included this taxonomy of educational objectives. So one person called Bloom, Dr. Benjamin Bloom, and his team only introduced this taxonomy of educational objectives. So this revised syllabus, an NSQF syllabus, this time they have included this taxonomy of educational objectives in detail, because this is also very important for our training activities. So CTS and CITS trainers, this is very important. That is why this has been included. So I hope you will enjoy this session. So हमारा आज का ऑब्जेक्टिव है टैक्सोनॉमी इन जनरल टैक्सोनॉमी मतलब क्या है, और ब्लूम्स टैक्सोनॉमी ऑफ एजुकेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव मतलब क्या है, और 3 डोमेन है, इसमें 3 डोमेन है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज 3 चीज है, नॉलेज का अलावा में और स्किल का अलावा में और एटीट्यूड का अलावा में, उसका रिलेशनशिप क्या है, और मेजर कंपोनेंट्स, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट्स चीज है उसका, कॉग्निटिव डोमेन है, नॉलेज का अलावा में, और स्किल का अलावा में साइकोमोटर डोमेन है, रिलेटेड दैट हम देखेंगे उसमें क्या क्या है ऐसे। और हमारा लर्नर्स लर्निंग और परफॉर्मेंस एबिलिटी कंपेयर करने के लिए इधर हायर लेवल और लोअर लेवल थिंकिंग एंड लर्निंग है, तो वो भी हम देखेंगे कैसे ये हायर लेवल और लोअर लेवल में ये कंपेयर कर सकते हैं ऐसे। और इसको कॉग्निटिव डोमेन हमारा एनसीईआरटी स्कूल एजुकेशन सिस्टम में ये कॉग्निटिव डोमेन कैसे एप्लीकेशन हो रहा है ऐसे वो भी देखेंगे। और इसके बाद हमारा नेशनल स्किल क्वालिफिकेशन फ्रेमवर्क में कंपेयर कर सकते हैं, और NSQ ऑफ लर्निंग आउटकम बेस्ड ऑन द टैक्सोनॉमी ऑफ एजुकेशन ऑब्जेक्टिव, हमारा लर्निंग आउटकम कैसे एप्लीकेशन हो रही है, और हम भी लिख सकते हैं बेस्ड ऑन द टैक्सोनॉमी ऑफ एजुकेशन ऑब्जेक्टिव्स। ये है आज का ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, देखेंगे वन बाय वन। ये है डॉक्टर बेंजामिन ब्लूम, 1913 to 1999 तक ही लिव्ड, एंड ब्लूम्स टैक्सोनॉमी ऑफ एजुकेशन ऑब्जेक्टिव इनका काम है। हिज कंट्रीब्यूशन टुवर्ड्स द एजुकेशन सोसाइटीज taxonomy of educational objective. In the system of education, there are many educationists and psychologists contributed, great manner. Their contribution may be related to psychology, their contribution may be related to motivation, or education system or even curriculum development. And like that, one among the pioneers in education system who has given great contribution to teacher education particularly is Dr. Benjamin Bloom. And his taxonomy, he chaired one committee, and that committee is called Taxonomy of Educational Objective Development Committee. And since he chaired that committee, this has been called by his name, that is Bloom's Taxonomy of Educational Objectives. This is the background. Or Bloom's taxonomy is a classification of learning objectives with education. See, this learning objectives nothing but learning outcome. Objective, we have already discussed, objectives are defined as indented outcome. After completion of the theory class, or after completion of the practical demonstration, what the learners will be able to achieve, that is called objective. And like that, we are also having our NCERT and NSQF system learning outcome. So outcome based methodology, our teaching and learning methodology, and so we are following that. Even this classification of educational taxonomy also based on outcome based. So we will compare how this is related to NSQF and all. And it is named after Benjamin Bloom. He edited the standard text taxonomy of educational objectives, the classification of educational goals. This is his book's name, a small book, he has published. So ये Dr. Bloom है, he and his team एक टीम के साथ ये काम किया, और he belonged to US United States, and इन्होंने education and learning teaching में बहुत काम किया, contribution दिया. इनका taxonomy of educational objectives called as Bloom's taxonomy. तो हम देखेंगे क्या क्या contribution किया और taxonomy क्या क्या है सही. And Bloom's taxonomy is a framework. आप देख लीजिए इधर framework. हमारा NSQF also a framework. Based on the NSQF framework only हमारा syllabus है, और हमारा reference books है, और हमारा system of training है, और system of evaluation है, testing and evaluation, even certification also. Everything is based on the framework. Like that, Bloom's taxonomy also followed by a framework for educational achievement, in which each level depends on one below. So there are levels, like NSQF, there are 10 levels, level 1, 2, 3 to 9, 10, like that. And here Bloom's taxonomy also depending on some levels. Let us see with diagrammatic representation. Some pictures are there, very easily we can understand. We will see all those things. Then basic knowledge, the first stage of learning, leads to the development of the skills and abilities that are crucial in completing the pedagogical process. So basic information is knowledge. So whatever information they are gaining in the basic level is knowledge. Same thing is the foundation for the Bloom's taxonomy, particularly the cognitive domain foundation. The first level is called knowledge, and it will increase knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, up to evaluation. The final stage is the evaluation stage. So this will help the education system or training system that particular to complete that objectives in appropriate manner, that in the pedagogical process. Pedagogy matlab what? Teaching, learning. In our school, college, or even training institutions, we are following this teaching learning process. So everything is considered as pedagogical process. Principles of teaching only pedagogy, principles of learning and teaching only pedagogy. So pedagogical process, this various levels of Bloom's taxonomy is used. Then learners move up through each level of Bloom's taxonomy, starting from very basic level to acquiring deeper knowledge on a subject. So Bloom's taxonomy, हमारा NSQF का framework कैसा है? National Skill Qualification Framework, बहुत सारा levels है, level 1 to level 10 तक. So basic or the first level is level 1, and the level 4 and 5 are CTS trainees or certified CTS trainees. We can say level 4 and 5 completed trainees, and level 6 हमारा CITS trainees, successfully completed CITS trainees. These are the level in NSQF, the NSQF framework. And like that, Bloom's taxonomy also having various framework. It has been considered as a framework, and it has levels. Let us see all those levels one by one. और उसका पहले एजुकेशनल टैक्सोनॉमी का पहले हम पहले देखेंगे टैक्सोनॉमी मतलब क्या है. सो इन जनरल टैक्सोनॉमी मतलब क्या है. So before going to taxonomy of educational objectives, let us see what is taxonomy in general. So Vargikaran is taxonomy. Taxonomy is the science of naming, describing and classifying organisms, and includes all plants, animals and microorganisms of the world. So taxonomy matlab living organism, every creatures, it may be a cell or bacteria or insects, plants, tree, human being, animals, birds, everything is living organisms. So how these living organisms are classified? Particular plant means plant will have a root, stem, flower, leaves, seeds, fruit and all. So this is considered as taxonomy. So taxonomy मतलब क्या है? हमारा एनिमल्स और प्लांट्स में बहुत सारा डिटेल्ड डिस्क्रिप्शन होता है. आई होप यू विल अंडरस्टैंड बाय शोइंग वन, बाय सीइंग वन पिक्चर. सो एक प्लांट मतलब उसका स्टेम होता है और फ्लावर होता है और फ्रूट होता है और सीड्स होता है. तो all the details are detailedly classified, is considered as taxonomy. So every detail, each and everything very detailedly classified is considered as taxonomy. So Bloom's taxonomy also, a human development is based on three categories. One is mental category, the other one is physical category, the third one is psychological category, mind related knowledge, and physical is a skill, and emotional related the attitude. And interestingly, the training definition itself, we can say training is a systematic process which will develop the knowledge, skill and attitude of an individual. So this knowledge, skill, attitude is the overall development of an individual. These are the these are the very important elements for a person's overall growth. So all these three elements are included in Bloom's taxonomy of education objectives, like one cognitive domain, the next one affective domain, the third one is psychomotor domain. Let us see how this has the relationship with our training definition. The Bloom's taxonomy provides a classification of educational objectives that is similar to the classification scheme used for plants and animals. As I told you, see, animals are any living organisms, plants, we can detailedly classify all those things, each and every part of the plant or an animal or any organism like that. In educational field also, human development can be classified into three categories, like knowledge and skill and attitude. So all these are coming in the three domains, that is cognitive domain, affective domain and the psychomotor domain. Let us see how it has been. And this again, one more visual. Taxonomy, what is a branch of biology dealing with the identification, naming and classification of organisms. So organisms means living creatures, any living creatures, maybe a plant or a tree or a human being or animals. So we have to identify what is that and naming and classifying in detail. That is called taxonomy. And in education, similarly, education also, human growth has been considered for the taxonomy educational objectives. You see here plant taxonomy, lateral root, root hairs or primary root, how this plant has been classified. Plant taxonomy, fruit, seed, leaf, flower, node, and birds and all, you can see. So this is called plant taxonomy. Like that, educational taxonomy also, each and every learner can develop his overall development of an individual will be apply cognitive domain, affective domain, and the psychomotor domain. Let us see all those domains detailing. So this is the background, the origin, when this has been introduced, whom and all contributor for the taxonomy of educational objectives. So the taxonomy of educational objectives was initially published in 1956 under the leadership of American academic and educational expert Dr. Benjamin S. Bloom. So उसका पूरा नाम है डॉक्टर बेंजामिन ब्लूम, वो अमेरिका का आदमी है। 1956 में ये इंट्रोड्यूस किया। वो chairperson है, उसलिए his name with his name the taxonomy of educational objectives has been called. Or Bloom chaired a committee of educational psychologists in US to develop a system of categories of learning behavior to assist in the design and assessment of educational learning. So to develop a system of categories of learning behavior, see, system of categories of learning behavior. So in any system, training system or educational system, there will be a framework and that has to be followed for all the education system. So for suppose in primary, upper primary, secondary, higher secondary, undergraduation, post-graduation, and research, these are the 7 levels of education system in academic field, like in our DGT, CTS, CTS, and apprenticeship training and all that. So these are the various levels. So all these levels can be categorized according to the basic qualification and advanced skills gained and all. So even in the education system also, learners' behavior can be classified into knowledge level, skill level, and the attitude level. So all these things detailedly explained one by one. So let us see the classification. The classified 3 domains of educational activities are: 1, cognitive domain, and second one, affective domain, and the third one is psychomotor domain. So cognitive domain is mental ability that is related to knowledge. The affective domain is growth in feelings or emotional areas, that is attitude, and the psychomotor domain is motor or physical skill, that is a skill. So ये हमारा टैक्सोनॉमी ऑफ एजुकेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव, दैट इज ब्लूम्स टैक्सोनॉमी में 3 इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होता है, एलिमेंट्स। एक कॉग्निटिव डोमेन है, दूसरा अफेक्टिव डोमेन है, और तीसरा साइकोमोटर डोमेन है। एक कॉग्निटिव डोमेन इज रिलेटेड टू नॉलेज, लर्नर्स का मेंटल एबिलिटी कैसा है उसका अलावा में नॉलेज, वही है कॉग्निटिव डोमेन। और दूसरा है अफेक्टिव डोमेन, दैट इज फीलिंग, ग्रोथ इन फीलिंग और इमोशनल एरियाज। तो फीलिंग और इमोशनल रिलेटेड इज कंसिडर्ड एज एटीट्यूड। सो हमारा ट्रेनिंग का डेफिनेशन आपको मालूम है, नॉलेज, स्किल एंड एटीट्यूड। ये एटीट्यूड इज रिलेटेड टू अफेक्टिव डोमेन। और तीसरा है साइकोमोटर डोमेन, name itself psychomotor, so neuromuscular activities. So physical skill, more physical skill related to motor or physical skill, related to skill hai. So cognitive is knowledge, affective is attitude, and psychomotor is related to skill. So I hope you will understand very well by seeing these explanations: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. These are the 3 domains of educational Bloom's educational taxonomy of educational objectives. Again, one more visual आपको बहुत अच्छी तरफ मालूम होना चाहिए। Cognitive domain is knowledge, that is thinking, and affective domain is attitude and feeling, and psychomotor domain is related to skill, do, perform. So knowledge is we can gain information, gain knowledge, and think and recall, that is related to cognitive. Our memory can be recalled through the knowledge which we have gained, that is related to cognitive domain. And attitude is feeling, feel good factors. Emotional acts are coming under affective domain. Then skill, the performance, whatever practical demonstrations or practical skill or practical work related to physical activities, psychomotor domain. Or this you can see the brain, cognitive, and the heart related to affective, and the physical skill is related to psychomotor. So, and the domains, this is the detailed and simple explanation and the relationship with each domains: cognitive domain, affective domain, and the psychomotor domain. So cognitive domain includes those objectives that emphasize intellectual outcomes. See, intellectual outcomes. Some words are with uniform color, see blue colors, and some words are with light yellow color. You can see that makes the difference, and these are all important definitions, the keywords for that particular domain. So cognitive domain, what is the keyword? Intellectual outcomes. So this domain includes those objectives that emphasize intellectual outcomes such as the recall or recognition of knowledge and the development of intellectual abilities. So whatever we have gained the knowledge and we remember and we recall, that is related to cognitive domain. ये cognitive domain में intellectual aspect होता है, और हमारा knowledge कितना gain किया और recall करना है, ये पूरा cognitive domain के अंदर है, knowledge. Or affective domain. The affective domain includes those objectives that emphasize feeling, emotion, interest, attitudes, values, and the development of appreciation and adequate adjustment. So, affective domain is related to feeling and emotional aspects, interest or attitude or value. These are all very, very important terms for the individual development. So, affective domain is related to attitude. So, affective domain includes those objectives that emphasize feeling, emotion, interest, attitude, values, and you can see the difference with these elements are not included in cognitive domain, and cognitive domain keywords are not included in the affective or psychomotor domain. So everything is classified different. Then the third domain is the psychomotor domain, which includes those objectives that emphasize physical skills such as writing, typing, stitching, swimming, walking, running, all those physical activities, welding, performing any work, lifting and all. So this cognitive domain is related to intellectual outcomes, and affective domain is related to feeling, emotion, interest, and attitudes. Then psychomotor domain is related to physical skills or physical activities. So these are the three domains. Let us see the major components of this cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. So major component मतलब हमें एक दिन डिस्कस किया, लेसन प्लान इज ए फॉर्मेट, उसमें चार मेजर कंपोनेंट्स होता है, प्रिपरेशन, प्रेजेंटेशन, एप्लीकेशन एंड टेस्ट. There are four important steps in lesson plan, that is preparation, the second one presentation, application and test. These are the major components, and among these major components you have minor components. So like in preparation stage you have title, the objectives and teaching aids required, and motivation and review. So all these are considered as the subcomponents. Like that, cognitive domain also having some 6 major domains. 6 major components, that is knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, evaluation. See, today we are not going to discuss about all these domains. Only for cognitive domain we'll discuss, and that also has been revised, and just we will see what is the relationship with our NSQF framework and the Bloom's taxonomy, and how this Bloom's taxonomy is helpful for writing the learning outcome and writing the instructional objectives for our lesson plan and the demonstration plan. So this is the important objectives of the today's presentation. So cognitive domain is having 6 components, major components, and affective domain is also having 5 major components, and psychomotor domain is having 5 major components. See, Bloom worked completely with this cognitive domain and partially with the affective domain, but he has not given his complete contribution to psychomotor domain. So psychomotor domain has been developed by so many educationists and psychologists. So like the way and Harrow and all, and affective domain also developed by, along with Bloom, Krathwohl, Anderson and all. And this Krathwohl, Anderson only revised his taxonomy of education objectives. So cognitive domain, now knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis and evaluation. These are the major components of the cognitive domain. And affective domain, you see receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, characterization. And the psychomotor domain, imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization. And you see here instructional objectives. So these elements are used and it will help to write the instructional objectives systematically and educational objectives also. This is general objective and down instructional objective. So in education objective, general objective to a particular instructional objectives, all these objectives, all these cognitive affective psychomotor domains and the major components of these domains are used. This is the, just for an idea, this has been kept. And let us see the detail about the cognitive domain. There are six major components of the cognitive domain: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. See, the base first information gained is knowledge by the learner. Then it will go to comprehension, then application, then analysis, then synthesis, and evaluation. This is the structure of cognitive domain. And as I told you, this has been revised by his team. Let us see how it has been revised. So this knowledge has been revised to remembering. Comprehension is revised as understanding. Knowledge comprehension. Application is applying, and application. Analysis is analyzing. Synthesis is evaluation, and evaluation is creating. And this has been revised by his team members after a few decades. And the revised cognitive domain, you can see, verb. What is the difference with this noun? The initially cognitive domain has been, listed with the noun, and the verb, action word is verb. And knowledge is not action word or verb, but remember is a verb. आपको तो मालूम है a difference, noun or a verb का difference. So when Bloom introduced his cognitive domain, उसका 6 elements, the major components are knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Then his team members, that Anderson and Krathwohl, their names I have kept here, Anderson and Krathwohl, they have revised his boss domain, the work, for the benefit of the it will be more useful and helpful for the system of education. For that purpose only they have introduced like this: remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. So these are the 6 revised components of cognitive domain. And in 1956 this has been introduced, and this revised taxonomy has been introduced in 2001. So again, let us see. Remembering means recalling relevant knowledge from long-term memory. So after gaining the knowledge, a person has to recall. Then only the learning will be, purposeful. Without recalling or without understanding what we learned, what we have gained knowledge, is not purposeful. That is why remembering is very important. So remembering means recalling relevant knowledge from long-term memory. Then understanding, making sense of what you have learned. I understand means yes, you understood. Yes, you have understood whatever taught, whatever you have learned, you can recall. So I understand that you have understood very well, like that. So some assurity will be there. So making sense of what you have learned. And applying is use the knowledge gained in new ways. So whatever knowledge we have gained should be applied properly. So this is the application. And in our lesson plan also, when we are teaching preparation, presentation, then application. In application stage, we are applying the teaching learning process, whatever we taught, whether they understood properly or not, by asking questions. So same thing only here also. Applying is use the knowledge gained in new ways. Learners or trainees should use the knowledge or apply the knowledge whatever they have gained through knowledge or skill. And analyzing, breaking the concept into parts and understand how each part is related to one another. So we have to analyze. A trainee or any learner, anybody who who learned something, has to be applied, then should be analyzed properly. That has to be broken into small pieces, and every piece should be analyzed properly. Why this is required, why that is required, like that. So that is called analyzing. So analyzing means breaking the concept into parts and understand how each part is related to one another. That is analyzing. Then evaluating, making judgment based on a set of guidelines. So, judgment is like assessment, evaluation, and, qualitative related to quality, and measurement is related to quantity. So this is a difference between measurement and assessment. So evaluation always making judgments based on a set of guidelines. So this qualitative aspects will have some guidelines. So then only we can measure the quality. But quantity we can measure by through kg, I mean 1 kg, 2 kg like that, or measurement 1 feet, 2 feet, or 1 meter like that. So that difference we must know, quantitative and qualitative judgments. And evaluating is judgment based on the set of guidelines, and creating, putting information together in an innovative way. So finally, creativity. So we are giving to the trainees or learners in their own thinking capacity or creativity. They can try to make new things. It may be a writing a new program, or designing a new object, or stitching of a new design or garment, or whatever it may be. It depends on the particular field. So remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating is the revised cognitive domain of Bloom's taxonomy. And you see step by step how this each components of cognitive domain has been introduced. Knowledge, it is related to recalling whatever we have discussed in this slide only. Here whatever we have discussed this slide only, here step by step: recall, translate, use, determine, create, exercise. This is the pre-revised taxonomy, and revised taxonomy this one. Finally, creation. And step by step, you see, basic is knowledge. There is no difference with that. And you see the noun and the verb. So knowledge has been converted to remember, comprehension is converted into understand, application is converted into apply, analysis is converted into analyze, and synthesis, evaluation has been converted into evaluate and create. So this is the change with the pre-revised and the revised taxonomy of educational objectives. And this has been revised by Anderson and Krathwohl in the year 2001. And NCERT, you see, I told you, National Council for Educational Research and Training, like our NCVT. NCERT is for school, school system, education system. This taxonomy of educational objective has been used, applied in the school system, this NCERT system. How you see, cognitive domain, psychomotor domain, affective domain, 3 domains are there. And this knowledge, comprehension, application, 3 domains are used in the cognitive domain. And the skill has been used in the psychomotor domain. And affective domain, appreciation, interest, and attitude. So appreciation, interest, attitude, and all, emotional aspects. That's why it is kept in the affective domain. And skill is, physical activity or performance related, job related. That's why it's kept in the psychomotor domain. This knowledge, comprehension, application are related to knowledge, and that's why it is related to it is kept in the cognitive domain. So their system, they are followed by considering educational taxonomy, Bloom's taxonomy, in this way. So let us see how our NSQF has a relationship with this Bloom's taxonomy. So Bloom's taxonomy and NSQF. So National Skill Qualification Framework, that is NSQF, is a competency-based framework that organizes all qualifications into 10 levels according to a series of levels of knowledge, skill, and aptitude. So like a cognitive domain, there are 6 components, 6 levels, starting from knowledge to evaluation: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So the basic is knowledge. Like that, our NSQF also framework also has 10 levels, starting from the level 1 to level 10. And these levels are defined in terms of learning outcomes. See now only very important and interesting term is coming: learning outcome. This Bloom's taxonomy also, every domain has learning outcome. And for learning outcome, we have to write the statement, that is the performance statement. When we write the performance statement, we have to start with the measurable and achievable terms, that is action verb. So लर्निंग आउटकम स्टेटमेंट लिखने के लिए एक स्टेटमेंट चाहिए, उसके लिए क्रिया इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्रिया दैट इज वर्ब. सो एक्शन वर्ब यूज करना in the same manner which we are outcome based, this NSQF, we are following this outcome based statements for learning outcome. And for general also and specific lesson also we are following this Bloom's taxonomy, cognitive, affective, psychomotor also based on this outcome, learning outcome. They have called as objectives, that is instructional objectives. We are calling it as learning outcome. Both are same. So these levels are defined in terms of learning outcomes acquired by a learner through formal and informal learning. Formal, either formal or informal, or formal and informal. So formal training तो आपको मालूम है regular course, 1 year course, 2 years courses and all, or even some 6 months courses also, regular course which is under CTS scheme. And informal learning is maybe a short-term course where you do not have a prescribed syllabus and predetermined objectives. I hope you know the difference between formal and informal learning. Formal learning or formal training, which you will have a standard syllabus, prescribed syllabus will be there and predetermined objective will be there. Whereas informal learning or informal training, you will not have any standard syllabus or prescribed syllabus or predetermined objectives. The objectives and syllabus and all, who will conduct the tailor-made course or who will conduct the short-term course according to his or her convenient, according to the number of hours they can have the syllabus. And certificate also, formal training you have a valid certificate, and informal training certificates are not valid like a formal learning. And level 1 of the framework represents, this is about NSQF level. Level 1 of the framework represents the lowest complexity, while the level 10 represents the highest complexity. I hope everyone knows about our NSQF. There are number of films are there in English as well as in Hindi. So NSQF का बारे में बहुत अच्छा इंफॉर्मेशन है इंटरनेट में, और फिल्म्स भी है, और एक लेवल किसके लिए, और how this level has been classified and all. Like Bloom's taxonomy, cognitive level में lowest level we have seen is knowledge. So knowledge is the foundation or fundamental, or understanding in the revised taxonomy, the basic. And here lowest complexity, lowest level is level 1, where a person may not have a formal education, वो पढ़ने के लिए आता नहीं और लिखने के लिए आता नहीं, लेकिन उसके पास कुछ स्किल होता है. So level 1 में, so कुछ बोलना में वो कर सकता है, he can follow, he can listen and do that work. So that will be level 1. If he properly do the work, then we can certify this person is fit to get the level 1 certificate. Level 2 also like that. Level 4 and level 5 are 5 and all ITI courses. See, level 4 we have discussed already, all non-engineering courses. Level 5 is all engineering courses, 2 years courses. So 2 years course, after completion of successful completion of the course, he is the competent enough to perform that skill. So we are certifying like that. Our NCVT is certifying like that. So lowest level to highest level. So lowest complexity to highest complexity in NSQF. So NSQF levels replaced input-based learning system to an output-based system through learning outcomes. So as I told you, 30 years before we have syllabus. Hamara CTS, these courses are called as basic level and post-advanced course. So basic level courses are 1 year and 2 years courses. Advanced courses are 8 months and post-advanced courses are 4 months. 30 years before our training system. That time the syllabus and all input based syllabus. So एक syllabus मिलेगा instructor के लिए, 3-4 पेज, ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. The pages will be very less क्योंकि it is input based. Topics होगा, or we have to break the topics into lessons and lesson plans. And hours also we have to analyze the syllabus. We have to for theory कितना hours चाहिए और practical के लिए कितना hours चाहिए, ऐसे we have to analyze the syllabus and break the syllabus into modules and units, and we have to make the weekly schedule, monthly schedule, and master schedules. अभी देख लीजिए NSQF का syllabus में you can see the number of weeks and practical portions has to be kitna practical portions or theory portions. Even engineering drawing, if you have engineering drawing, vocational science and workshop science and calculation means you have that, and even employability skill or any soft skills and computer, even library also, everything is systematically included, and how we are making that training methodology also included. Suppose for practical, everything, even for industrial visits, even library also mentioned how many hours. So and after based on the syllabus, books also prepared, NME, National Instruction Media prepared books, reference books, all the CTS trades, and for CATS you have training methodology book. So if you see the NSQF book, in the cover itself we can see level 4, level 5, and for CTS level 6. So it is, everything is output based. So only thing we have to see, we have to get the information and we have to make presentation. We have to transfer that knowledge or transfer the skill. So this is output based. So previously the syllabus was input based, and now it is output based. So output based syllabus is very much has advantage for the trainers and as well as the trainees. So NSQF levels replaced input based learning system into an output based system through learning outcomes. So learning outcomes are playing very important role to achieve the instructional objectives or general objectives. So the common term learning outcome. So learning outcome, every syllabus you see, every book you see, learning outcome is the common term you will see. So we must understand properly what is learning outcome. Learning outcomes are what a learner learns and is able to perform on completion of a learning process. So एक syllabus है, see you consider we are all learners. So हमारा trainer or training officer or vocational instructor will come and impart training in some theory portions or some practical demonstrations. So after completion of that, what we will be able to achieve, gaining of knowledge or gaining of some particular skill, we will be able to repeat that skill, or we will be able to demonstrate that skill, follow the safety precautions, everything. So this is called the learning outcome. After successful completion of the particular lesson or a particular skill, what the learners will be able to achieve, that is called as learning outcome. So this learning outcome, whatever people will achieve, the learners will achieve, will be predetermined. That is why this is this NSQF syllabus or reference books are considered as outcome-based materials and outcome-based syllabus. So learning outcomes are what a learner learns and is able to perform on completion of the learning process. And learning outcomes would be expressed in terms of knowledge, skills, and competence. So competence is after completion of that particular trade, he is competent or she is competent enough to draft the children's garments or draft the any garments, ladies garment or gents garments, or for related computerments, you'll be able to design a banner. That is the competence. Successful completion of the course, what she will be able to perform properly or as per the requirement, market requirement or the industrial requirement. That is called competence. So learning outcomes would be expressed in terms of knowledge, skill, and competence. So to do a job using K and S means knowledge and skill. So we are applying our knowledge which we have gained, and we are applying the skill which we have gained. And this is also one of the important points. And learning outcome statements may be considered to be exit behaviors or instructional objectives. So actually it should be considered. So learning outcome statement should be considered to be the exit behaviors. Exit behavior means after completion of that particular lesson or after completion of the particular demonstration. Even after we can also call it as after completion of the particular course, 1 year course or 2 years course or any short-term courses, the exit behavior is considered as instructional objectives or learning outcome. So I hope you have you got very good information and explanation about learning outcome. This is which is very important for our CTS and CATS. NSQF based syllabus and training learning activities.
Yeah,
So
Mr.
let us see what objectives. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Any five
sir.
more minutes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Only few
5 minutes.
more slides. Yeah.
Kindly
Few
wrap up.
more minutes. Yeah. Sure. Only 5 more minutes. Yes. So already we have discussed about the objectives. Objectives are nothing but the intended outcome or the learning outcome. Even we can call it as learning outcome, intended outcome, what the learners will be able to achieve. Okay, that is objective. So clearly defined objectives would not only help the teachers, and it will also help the learners to complete the intended theory portions or intended practical demonstrations properly. The statements of objectives, therefore, expected to be specific, observable, and measurable. So you see, this is the difference between the college education and our NSQF. And you see from 9th up to 9th standard, level 1. And these levels are our NSQF levels, skill, our NSQF levels. And this is knowledge, our school college. You see, 10th standard is level 2 and 11th to 12th standard and first year and all consider as diploma level, and you can see level 4 and 5 or CTS, and level 6 is CATS, and level year 1 to 3 post diploma up to level 3 consider as post diploma. Even 1 to 3 this degree course, 3 years course, degree course, and post graduation and all level 8 and level 9, and level 10 may be research. So this is the comparison with our NSQF and college academic education. And you see, when you write the learning outcomes, it should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be achievable, it should be realistic, and it should be time bound. So this is the SMART approach: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And you see the learning outcomes, some examples: action verb, kriya, action verb. When you write the statement, first word is action verb, action word. We should start the statement, the learning outcome statement, by using the action verb. So produce, stitch. You see, produce documents using word processor software, and stitch the garment using sewing machine. Here, produce, stitch and all action verb. Learning statement is document and garments. And you see the criteria is using the sewing machine or using the software, word processor software. And you see, this is the NSQF 5 major domains, like Bloom's taxonomy, 3 major domains. हमारे NSQF में 5 important domains हैं: process, professional knowledge, professional skill, core skill, and responsibility. How these 5 domains are related to each other, you see, level 5 CTS course, 2 years engineering course, level 5 में कैसे ये 5 domains इस हो रहे हैं. Process required is job that requires well-developed skill and knowledge. And professional knowledge is knowledge of facts, principles, processes, and general concepts in the field of work or study. So knowledge gained is professional knowledge. And professional skill is he has learned the knowledge and he has to apply that in the practical skill. And core skill is and some other additional mathematical skill and soft skills and all. And here, and responsibility, and he will be able to perform a responsible technician or the mechanic, whatever the related trade. So this is the domains and the levels and the performances. See, for level 5 के लिए I say level 1 to 10 तक detailedly we will discuss when we discuss about the NSQF topic. So how this taxonomy of educational objective will help us? कैसे हमारा teachers और trainer को use होगा to choose the educational activities related to knowledge, attitude, and skill. And we can also write the learning outcomes properly or instructional objectives appropriately. So writing the instructional objectives appropriately and the learning outcomes properly, this taxonomy of educational objectives is used. So cognitive affective domain. Cognitive में देखो so many terms are there: cite, define, describe, name. ये पूरा हमारा lesson में objective लिखने के लिए ये बहुत ज़रूरत है कॉग्निटिव नॉलेज रिलेटेड. और परफॉर्मेंस के लिए आप देख लीजिए फॉर रिलेटेड टू स्किल प्रैक्टिकल टर्म्स, वर्ब्स, एक्शन वर्ब्स: राइट, रिपेयर, टाइप, रन, जंप, स्टिच, पुल, पुश, रिमूव, कट, कॉपी, पेस्ट एंड ऑल. दिस साइकोमोटर रिलेटेड. Our cognitive knowledge is define, explain, modify, verify, and all, distinguish, differentiate, and all. Affective domain may realize, behave, cooperate, accept, categorize, customize, organize, etc. So these action verbs and the writing instructional objectives, one more class I have scheduled. So we will write, we will learn how to write the instructional objectives properly without any problem. Like that, we will discuss again. So this is, this exercise also we will see when we discuss about the how to write the instructional objectives or learning outcome statements. So learning outcome statements are very important. One class, one session is there, that time we will discuss. So these are the things we have discussed. What is taxonomy in general, and what is educational taxonomy, knowledge, skill, attitude, and NSQF with the Bloom's taxonomy, and objectives and learning outcomes, 5 domains of NSQF and level descriptors, how taxonomy of educational objective is helping the educational activities. So these are the important points which we have discussed today. Any doubts you have, any clarifications, you can ask me. And as I told you, this is related to writing learning outcome. This taxonomy, Bloom's taxonomy will help us to write the learning outcomes in knowledge based or skill based or attitude based. So that we will detailedly discuss in coming days. You can check the NIMI website, Zoom classes, and register yourself for that particular class. So with this, whatever objectives we have planned has been achieved. I'm happy to be with this session, and thank you.